I thought I was coming to my son's BBQ as his mother, but when he shoved my suitcase into the garage, past the fairy lights, past the guests, I realized I wasn't family anymore. I was furniture they wanted to store out of sight. What they didn't expect? That garage was built with my money. I paid $100,000 toward this house. I gave up my art career, my gallery dreams, my freedom, for his education, his startup, his comfort. And now, I'm sleeping beside a toolbox and they call me a freeloader behind my back. I'm Vivian, and after 35 years of putting everyone else first, I finally picked up my voice. In this story, you'll see how I uncovered a hidden trust in my name, turned their insults into evidence, and made my son watch as I sold the very house he tried to exile me from. You'll see how I rewrote my will and my worth. Because when he laughed and tore up my wedding photo, I didn't cry. I struck a match, burned the past, and began again. If you've ever felt invisible in the family you built, this story isn't just for you. It might be your turning point. Don't scroll, stay. Because sometimes the quietest mothers start the loudest fires. Before I share what happened next, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this from and how are you feeling today? Leave me a comment below. I read every word, and maybe your story will echo through the next chapter. Your voice matters here. Let's walk this journey together. I thought my son saw me as his mother, but when Nathan shoved my suitcase into the garage, I felt like a stranger in my own family. The June sun hung low over Raleigh, North Carolina, on that warm evening of June 7th, 2024, casting a golden glow across the cul-de-sac. Nathan and Lauren's modern house buzzed with life, the backyard alive with their engagement BBQ. Jazz music, smooth and lazy, drifted from speakers tucked among the hydrangeas. The air carried the sweet scent of apple pie cooling on picnic tables, mingling with the smoky char of grilled burgers. Fairy lights twinkled above the lawn, promising a night of celebration. I stepped out of my old sedan, my suitcase wheels rattling on the driveway, my heart light with the hope of family togetherness. I'd driven 3 hours picturing laughter, shared stories, maybe even a dance with my granddaughter, Emma. Emma spotted me first, her ponytail bouncing as she raced across the grass. "Grandma, you're here!" she squealed, her arms wrapping around me tight. Her warmth was like a quilt on a winter night, and I hugged her back, breathing in her strawberry shampoo. At 15, she still had that spark, the one we'd kindled over bedtime stories and baking sugar cookies in my kitchen. "Missed you, sweetheart," I murmured, my smile wide. Nathan stood by the grill, his broad shoulders hunched over his phone. He glanced up, his eyes flickering with distraction. "Hey, Mom," he muttered, barely nodding before his thumb resumed scrolling. My chest tightened, but I brushed it off. He's busy, I told myself. Running that tech startup must be eating his time. I remembered the boy who'd clung to me after his first scraped knee, the one I'd worked overtime to send to college. Surely he was still in there. Lauren approached, her heels clicking on the stone path, her smile thin as a paper cut. "Vivian, we're so glad you made it," she said, her voice syrupy but sharp. "Space is tight, though." Her manicured hand gestured vaguely toward the house, and I nodded, expecting a guest room, maybe the one with the blue quilt I'd sewn for Hannah years ago. "Of course, I understand," I said, my suitcase still light in my hand. I'd given up my art career, my gallery dreams, to fund Nathan's future. College, his first apartment, even part of this house. A little crowding was nothing. Lauren led me around the side of the house, past the hydrangeas to a gray metal door. The jazz faded, replaced by the hum of cicadas. She pushed the door open, and a wave of cold, oily air hit me. The garage was dim, lit by a single bulb dangling like a forgotten ornament. A sagging cot sat beside a rusty toolbox, its mattress thin as a pancake. "Hope you don't mind roughing it," Lauren said, her voice sharp as a blade, her lips curling into a smirk that didn't reach her eyes. I blinked, my suitcase suddenly heavy. Nathan appeared behind her, his hands in his pockets. "It's just for the weekend, Mom," he said, shrugging, his gaze sliding to the floor. Emma tugged my arm, her voice a whisper. "This isn't right, Grandma." Her brown eyes, so like mine, shimmered with anger. My chest tightened, a dull ache spreading. I forced a smile, my lips trembling. "It'll do," I said, setting my suitcase down with a soft thud. Lauren's smirk widened and she turned, her heels clicking back to the lawn. Nathan followed, his shoulders slouched, not looking back. Emma lingered, her hand squeezing mine. "I'll stay with you," she said, but I shook my head. "Go enjoy the party, sweetheart. I'm fine." She frowned but obeyed, her sneakers scuffing as she left. The garage door creaked shut, sealing me in with the smell of motor oil and dust. Alone, I sat on the cot, its springs groaning under me. The bulb buzzed overhead, casting harsh shadows across the concrete floor. Laughter drifted from the house, Lauren's voice loudest, high and sharp like a glass about to shatter. The jazz swelled, a saxophone note curling through the air, but it felt distant, like a memory I couldn't touch. I unzipped my suitcase, my hands slow, and began unpacking. My cardigan, my slippers, the photo of Robert and me on our wedding day, his smile frozen in time. My fingers brushed something under the cot and I pulled it out, a worn diary, its leather cracked. My handwriting scrawled across the first page. 1985. Gave up gallery show for Nathan's school. The words blurred as my eyes stung. I'd traded my paints, my canvas, for his future, his tuition, his dreams. And now, I was here, tucked away like an old coat. Family isn't just blood. It's the choices we make to hold each other close. I'd chosen Nathan, every time, but tonight, I felt like an afterthought. My fingers tightened on the diary, resolve stirring in my chest. I wouldn't let them erase me, not after all I'd given. I set the diary on the cot, its pages a quiet promise, and stood, brushing dust from my skirt. The laughter outside grew louder, but I wasn't ready to join it. Not yet. Imagine hearing your own child's partner call you a freeloader after you gave up your dreams to build their future. Think you've seen the worst yet? Not even close. But before we dive deeper, drop a 5 in the comments if you're still with me, because what comes next might just flip everything you thought about family. The garage door creaked open, and Emma slipped inside, her eyes wide. "Grandma," she whispered, holding up her phone. Her fingers trembled as she pressed play. Lauren's voice crackled through, sneering. "Vivian's practically a freeloader." My breath caught, sharp as a needle. The words hung in the air, heavy, final. Emma's face crumpled. "I recorded it by accident," she said, her voice small. I pulled her close, her head against my shoulder, but my mind raced. What else were they hiding? Was I ever their mother, or just their stepping stone? Lauren's freeloader echoes in my ears, a wound deeper than the garage cot. My savings built their house, but I'm the one cast aside. The next morning, sunlight barely creeps through the garage's grimy window, leaving the air dim and heavy with dust and motor oil. Outside, the BBQ at Nathan and Lauren's house hums on, the clink of glasses sharp against the soft jazz floating from the lawn. The scent of grilled chicken wafts through the vent, mingling with the laughter of guests slow dancing under string lights. I sit on the cot, its springs creaking, my fingers still clutching Emma's phone from last night. Lauren's voice, sneering freeloader, plays in my mind like a broken record. My chest burns, not just with hurt, but with something hotter, anger. Emma hovers by the door, her sneakers scuffing the concrete. Her brown eyes, so like mine, blaze with fury. "I didn't mean to record it, Grandma," she says, her voice low. I set the phone down, my hands trembling, and pull her close. "You did right, sweetheart," I murmur. My mind flashes to the $100,000 I wired for this house, my life savings drained to give Nathan and Lauren their dream. Freeloader? I clench my fists, nails biting my palms. "They don't know sacrifice," I say, my voice steady but tight. Emma nods, her jaw set. "We'll show them, Grandma." Her determination, fierce as a summer storm, sparks something in me. I'm not done yet. I slip on my cardigan, smoothing its soft knit, and step out to the BBQ, a tray of lemonade glasses balanced in my hands. The lawn sparkles with fairy lights, couples swaying to the jazz, their shadows long in the dusk. Lauren laughs with a cluster of guests, her blonde hair gleaming, her voice high and sharp. "Oh, Vivian's resting in her cozy nook," she says, her smile ablade. My hands tighten on the tray, the glass cold against my skin. Nathan stands nearby, scrolling his phone, his face blank. He doesn't look up, not even when a guest, an older woman in a floral dress, asks, "Where's your mom, Nathan?" Lauren cuts in, smooth as silk. She loves her quiet time. The lie stings like salt in a cut. My smile falters, but I keep pouring lemonade, my hands trembling. The jazz saxophone wails, a mournful note that mirrors my heart. Back in the garage, I shut the door, the creak loud in the silence. The bulb buzzes overhead, casting jagged shadows. I sink onto the cot, pulling the diary from under it. Its pages crinkle as I flip to 1988. Robert promised our wealth is safe. My throat tightens. Robert, with his steady hands and quiet laugh, always said we'd protect what we built, our home, our family. I gave up my art, my gallery dreams, to fund Nathan's startup, his college, this house. And now I'm here, hidden away like a broken chair. My phone buzzes and I glance at it, expecting Emma. Instead, it's Nathan. "Stop stirring drama, Mom." My breath catches. He knows I'm hurting, but he'd rather silence me than face it. Anger flares, hot and sharp, replacing the ache in my chest. Family isn't just love. It's the truth we owe each other. They've buried mine, but I won't stay buried. I grab my phone, my fingers steady now, and text Diane, my best friend since our college days. "Need your legal brain. They're burying my worth." The jazz outside fades, the laughter growing distant. I'm not a freeloader. I'm their foundation. My anger sharpens, a blade ready to cut through their lies. I set the phone down, my eyes catching a glint under the cot. A locked metal box, its surface dull with dust. My heart skips. Could it hold the promise Robert meant? Diane's reply lights up the screen. "You might own that house. Check old papers." The box glints again, cold and heavy, like a secret waiting to be freed. Could it hold my truth? Did I raise a son, or just a shadow of one? Nathan's voice booms across the lawn. "Mom's a burden now," he shouts, and my heart cracks like dry clay. The next evening, the BBQ lawn at Nathan and Lauren's Raleigh home glows with fairy lights, their soft twinkle mocking the tension in the air. The scent of farmers' market flowers, sweet and heavy, mixes with the smoky char of grilled burgers sizzling on the grill. Jazz hums from speakers, a saxophone weaving through the chatter of guests, but it feels hollow, like a song played for someone else. I smooth my apron, the one Emma and I tie on for baking, and carry a tray of oatmeal cookies, their warm cinnamon scent a small hope for mending things. My fingers tremble. Nathan's text from last night, "Stop stirring drama, Mom," still burning in my mind. I gave him everything. College tuition, startup funds, $100,000 for this house. And now I'm in the garage, my suitcase tucked away like shame. I step onto the grass, the lights casting long shadows. Nathan stands by the picnic tables, surrounded by guests, a beer in his hand. His laugh is loud, forced, his eyes darting to Lauren, who's charming a couple nearby, her blonde hair gleaming. I approach, the tray steady, my smile tight. Maybe he'll see me, the mother who worked double shifts to pay his way, but his gaze lands on me, cold and sharp. "Mom's a burden now," he snaps, his voice cutting through the jazz. "We don't need her money," guests gasp, their murmurs rising like a wave. Lauren turns, her lips curling into a smirk, her eyes glinting with cruel delight. The tray slips, cookies crumbling to the grass, their crumbs scattering like my hope. My chest tightens, anger flaring hot and fierce. I stand tall, my voice steady despite the sting. "You're wrong, Nathan," I say, meeting his gaze. He looks away, his jaw tight, but Lauren's smirk widens, a silent victory. I turn, the lawn blurring as I walk back toward the house, my apron twisted in my hands. A hand catches my arm and I look up to see Hannah, my daughter, her eyes wet. She's 32, her dark hair pulled back, her face softer than I've seen in years. "Mom," she says, hugging me tightly, her voice breaking. "I blamed you for missing my graduation, but I know now you were saving Dad." Her words, raw and honest, pierce the anger, stirring guilt. I'd stayed by Robert's hospital bed, missing Hannah's milestone, and she'd pulled away, thinking I'd chosen him over her. Emma joins us, her sneakers stomping, her glare fixed on Nathan. "He's awful, Grandma," she says, her voice fierce. At 15, she's my fire, her bond forged over baking lessons and stories of my old art days. Their support lights a fire in me, not just anger, but resolve. I'm not a burden. I'm their roots. In the garage, my cold sanctuary, the single bulb flickers, casting jagged shadows. I sink onto the cot, the springs groaning, and pull the locked box from under it. My fingers brush a small key taped to its side, cold and heavy. I turn it, the lock clicking open, revealing a stack of receipts. My breath catches. $100,000. My name clear, wired for this house. Nathan's words echo. Burden. But Hannah's apology lingers, soft and true. I clutch the key, its weight a symbol of unlocking my power, my resolve hardening. I'm done being invisible. I grab my phone and call Diane, my voice firm. "Find my legal rights," I say. Her reply is quick, steady. "I'm on it, Viv." The jazz outside fades, the laughter a distant hum. I'm not just fighting for me, I'm fighting for the truth. Love isn't just giving. It's demanding respect for what you've given. They've taken my sacrifices and spit on them, but I'm not finished. As I set the receipts down, a note slips from the box, Robert's handwriting bold. "Protect our legacy, Viv." My pulse quickens, the paper crinkling in my hand. Diane's text lights up my phone. "You co-own the house, Viv." The note's edge reveals a folded letter, its seal unbroken. What did Robert hide? Was I their strength or just their scapegoat? Diane's words spark like a match. "You own that house, Viv. Don't let them bury you." The next morning, the garage at Nathan and Lauren's Raleigh home feels less like a cage and more like a makeshift office. My papers spread across a folding table. The air hangs stale, thick with dust, the faint smell of motor oil clinging to the walls. A kettle whistles on a hot plate, its steam curling in the dim light of a single bulb. Outside, the BBQ planning hums on their lawn, the soft jazz from speakers weaving through the chatter of caterers. The scent of coffee drifts from a farmer's market stall set up nearby, sharp and bitter, cutting through the sweetness of blooming hydrangeas. I sit on the cot, its springs creaking. Robert's note, "Protect our legacy, Viv," still folded in my pocket. Nathan's voice from last night calling me a burden burns in my chest, but it's not just anger now, it's determination, steady and unyielding. The garage door creaks and Diane steps in, her gray curls bouncing, a travel mug in her hand. Her eyes, sharp behind her glasses, soften when they meet mine. "You okay, Viv?" she asks, settling on a crate, sipping tea I poured from the kettle. I nod, my fingers tracing the edge of a receipt. $100,000, my life savings for this house. "You co-signed, right?" Diane's voice is sharp, cutting through the haze. I nod again, remembering Robert's caution years ago, his insistence on legal protections when we wired the money. "Nathan needed it," I say, my voice low, guilt creeping in. I'd funded his dreams, college, his startup, shelving my own art career, my gallery hopes. Diane leans forward, her face etched with a pain I recognize. "My son cut me off after I paid for his business," she says, her voice tight. "He called me a leech. Find the claws, Viv. Don't let them bury you." Her story, raw and familiar, steadies me. Our pain mirrors, two mothers betrayed by sons we lifted. I grip the mug, resolve hardening. "I won't, I promise. my voice firm. The door bangs open, and Lauren storms in, her heels clicking, eyes narrow with suspicion. "What's this secret meeting?" she snaps, her voice dripping venom. Her insecurity shows, a crack in her polished facade, her hands fidgeting with her necklace. I smile, calm, my heart racing. "Just old friends catching up," I say, my tone light. Emma slips in behind her, her ponytail swinging, and tugs Lauren's arm. "Mom, can you check the BBQ decorations?" she asks, her voice sweet but sharp. Lauren hesitates, her gaze darting between us, but Emma's quick grin pulls her away. As the door shuts, I hear Lauren's voice outside, low and urgent on a call. "We'll get Vivian out after the BBQ." My pulse races, anger flaring hot in my veins. She's plotting to erase me, to sweep me out like dust. The jazz swells, a trumpet note piercing the air, but it can't drown the betrayal. Alone again, I sift through the locked box, my fingers brushing receipts, bank statements, each a piece of my sacrifice. One catches my eye, $100,000. My name bold, the house's down payment. Diane's words echo, "Don't let them bury you." And I pin the receipt to the garage wall, its paper a flag of my fight. The kettle hums, its steam warm against my face, the garage no longer a prison but a battleground. I grab my phone, texting Diane, "Found proof, check trusts." The jazz fades, the coffee scent lingering, sharp and clear. I'm building my case brick by brick, my determination a shield against their lies. Lauren's call, her plan to expel me, only fuels my fire. They think I'm weak, but I'm just beginning. Strength isn't just enduring. It's choosing to rise when they push you down. They've tried to bury my worth, but I'm digging it out. As I set the phone down, another statement slips from the box, my name in bold print. My heart skips. Diane's text lights up. "Found a trust. It's big." The statement's edge shows my name again, tied to something larger. What's Robert hiding? Did Robert know I'd need to fight for my place? Robert's letter stares up at me, his words a lifeline. "You own 60% of this house, Viv. Your aunt's money built our family." The next evening, the garage at Nathan and Lauren's Raleigh home is my fortress, lit by a flashlight's beam, papers scattered across a folding table. The air is thick with dust, the faint tang of motor oil lingering. Outside, the cul-de-sac lies quiet, crickets chirping in the warm June dusk, the BBQ's jazz a faint hum, barely reaching through the walls. I sit on the cot, its springs groaning, the locked box open before me. Lauren's plotting call, "We'll get Vivian out," still burns in my ears, but Robert's note, "Protect our legacy, Viv," fuels a fire in my chest, not just anger but determination, steady and unyielding. I'm done being their shadow. I pry open a small drawer in the box, my fingers trembling, the metal scraping. Inside, a folded letter, yellowed but crisp, Robert's handwriting bold. I unfold it, my breath catching. "Your aunt's inheritance funded our wealth, Viv," it reads. "You own 60% of this house." My hands shake, the flashlight wavering. 60%. I wired $100,000, my life savings, but this is power. I grab my phone, dialing Diane, my voice urgent. "Listen to this," I say, reading aloud. Her reply is swift, confident. "It's enforceable, Viv. You could sell it." I pause, guilt gnawing. Nathan's face flashes, his sneer, his burdened shout, but also the boy I raised, the one I gave my art dreams for, college, his startup. Did my sacrifices shape his greed? The crickets chirp louder, a steady pulse grounding me. The garage door creaks, and Hannah slips in, her eyes wet, her dark hair loose. She's 32, but tonight she looks younger, vulnerable. "Mom," she says, her voice breaking, "Nathan said you were holding him back for years." Her words cut, sharp as glass, his dismissal a betrayal of every late shift I worked for his tuition. "But I was wrong," she adds, stepping closer. "I pulled away after my graduation, thinking you chose Dad over me. But you were saving him." Her graduation, missed because I sat by Robert's hospital bed, had driven a wedge between us. I stand, hugging her tightly, her warmth like Robert's echo. "You're here now," I whisper. I show her the letter, her eyes widening. "You're unstoppable, Mom," she says, her voice fierce. Her loyalty, raw and true, lights a spark in me. I'm not just fighting for me, I'm fighting for us. I sit again, the flashlight flickering, its beam dancing on the walls. I email Diane a scan of the letter. Start the sale process. Robert's words linger. Protect our legacy. And I fold the letter into my pocket, a shield against their lies. The garage feels alive, the paper's a map to my power. I'm not just a mother, I'm a force. As I set the letter down, a small photo slips out, fluttering to the floor. I pick it up, my breath catching. Robert, younger, smiling beside a woman I don't know, her eyes sharp, her hair gray. My aunt? The flashlight dims, but my resolve doesn't. The jazz hum fades, the crickets a steady chorus outside. Legacy isn't just wealth, it's the truth you leave behind. They've tried to bury mine, but I'm unearthing it. The photo's back catches my eye, a name scrawled in Robert's hand. Eleanor. Diane's reply pings, "Sales on. Trust name's your aunt." My heart races, Eleanor's name bold in my mind. Who was she to Robert? Did I build this family, or just its walls? I'm selling their precious house, and they don't suspect a thing. Robert's letter gave me the key to my freedom. The next day, the garage at Nathan and Lauren's Raleigh home is my command center. Papers spread across a folding table under a dim, flickering bulb. The air is stale, heavy with dust and the faint tang of motor oil. Outside, the BBQ planning intensifies, the lawn buzzing with caterers, the scent of grilled chicken, sharp and savory. A nearby tent gives off a coffee shop vibe, its espresso machine hissing, blending with the soft pulse of jazz from speakers. I sit on the cot, its springs creaking, Robert's letter folded in my hand, Eleanor's name, my aunt, etched in my mind. Her photo, slipped from the letter, hints at a trust that could unravel Nathan's lies. My heart pounds, not with guilt now, but with power. I gave Nathan everything. College, his startup, $100,000 for this house. But his greed, his burden shout, shows I gave too much. My phone buzzes, Diane's text lighting the screen. Palm Fern LLC is set. Sale started. I smile, a quiet thrill running through me, and fold Robert's letter, tucking it into my pocket. Outside, Lauren's voice barks orders, sharp as a whip, oblivious to my plan. The garage door creaks and Emma slips in, her ponytail swinging, her eyes bright with mischief. She presses a house key into my hand, cold and solid. "Use it, Grandma," she whispers, her courage a mirror of mine. At 15, she's my ally. Our bond forged over stories I told her by lamplight, tales of my old art days. "You're brave, sweetheart," I say, squeezing her hand. She grins, darting back out, the jazz swelling as the door shuts. I clutch the key, my resolve ironclad. Have you ever been pushed by someone who pretended to smile at you moments before? This next part isn't just painful, it's the moment I knew I couldn't stay quiet. If you're still here, drop a 6 in the comments, because this was the push that made me rise. I slip out, needing water, the key hidden in my cardigan pocket. The lawn sparkles with fairy lights, guests mingling, their laughter grating. I head toward the kitchen, but Lauren intercepts me, her heels clicking, her face twisted. "Stay in your hole," she hisses, her hand shoving my shoulder, rough and sudden. I stumble, pain shooting through my arm, my breath catching. Guests turn, their murmurs rising, but Nathan nearby looks away, his phone a shield. My anger surges, hot and fierce, but I hold the key tight, silent. "You'll see," I murmur, my voice low, my eyes locked on hers. Her insecurity flashes, a crack in her armor, but she turns, strutting back to the crowd. The jazz saxophone wails a mournful note, but my heart pounds with defiance. They've humiliated me, but I'm not broken. Back in the garage, I sit at the table. The bulbs glow harsh. I file sale papers online, the screen casting blue light on my face. Eleanor's photo, my aunt, stares from the table, her sharp eyes a beacon of my resolve. Her money, not Robert's, built this family. A bank statement from the box confirms it, my name tied to her wealth. My pulse quickens, the paper crinkling in my hand. I place the photo upright, a silent vow to honor her legacy. I text Diane, dig into the trust. The jazz outside feels like a countdown, its rhythm steady, urgent. I'm not just selling a house, I'm reclaiming my life. The coffee scent lingers, grounding me, the garage no longer a prison but a war room. Freedom isn't just leaving, it's taking back what's yours. They've pushed me down, but I'm rising, Eleanor's strength in my veins. As I close the laptop, Lauren's voice drifts through the vent. She's gone after the BBQ. Diane's email pings. Trust details found. My heart races. What's Eleanor's full story? Will they ever see me? Or just the space I leave? Lauren's plotting my exile, but the house is already mine to sell. Nathan's about to break more than my heart. The next evening, the BBQ lawn at Nathan and Lauren's Raleigh home pulses with forced festivity, but the tension hangs thick, like smoke over the grill. Fairy lights flicker, their glow dimming, casting uneven shadows across the grass. The scent of farmers' market flowers, once sweet, wilts under the heat of grilled burgers sizzling nearby. Jazz drifts from speakers, a saxophone's wail cutting through the chatter, but it feels strained, like a smile held too long. I stand by the garage, my strategic hideout, papers scattered on a folding table inside, the air heavy with dust and motor oil. Eleanor's trust, hinted at in Robert's letter, burns in my mind. Her fortune, not theirs, built this family. Lauren's push yesterday, her hissed, "Stay in your hole," fuels my resolve, but Nathan's burden shout stings deeper. I gave him everything. College tuition, startup funds, $100,000 for this house. Yet he resents me. Guilt tugs, but I'm done bending. I step onto the lawn, my cardigan soft against my skin, and approach Nathan by the grill, the flames casting his face in harsh light. Guests mill nearby, their laughter grating. "You called me a burden," I say, my voice steady, meeting his eyes. He stiffens, his beer bottle glinting. "You're stuck in the past, Mom!" He snaps, his voice loud, cutting through the jazz. He grabs my wedding album from a nearby table, its leather worn from years of love. "This means nothing," he shouts, tearing photos, their glossy pieces scattering like confetti. Robert's smile, our first dance, rips apart. My heart rips too, but my resolve hardens, fierce and unyielding. Hannah gasps, "Nathan, stop!" Her voice breaking, her dark hair loose as she steps forward. Emma, fierce at 15, pulls out her phone, filming, her hands trembling. "You're a jerk, Dad," she yells. Guests stare, their murmurs rising, but Nathan's eyes blaze, unrepentant. My anger surges, a fire I can't douse. I retreat to the edge of the lawn, Hannah and Emma following, their hands on my arms. Diane's email pings on my phone. Trust confirms Eleanor's wealth funded your family. Sales nearly done. I show Hannah the photo of Eleanor, my aunt, her sharp eyes staring from the frame. "She's why we're here," I say, my voice low. Hannah nods, tears falling, her face lit by fairy lights. "You're unstoppable, Mom," she says, her loyalty a balm after her years of distance, sparked by my absence at her graduation. Emma hugs me, her grip fierce, our bond over baking lessons anchoring me. "We've got you, Grandma," she whispers. Their support steadies me, a lifeline against Nathan's betrayal. The jazz fades, the burger smoke curling upward, heavy and bitter. In the garage, I kneel by the table collecting torn photos, each a shard of Robert's memory. Our wedding, our laughter. My fingers tremble, but my heart is steel. Diane's story, her son's betrayal after she funded his dreams, echoes mine, a mirror of our pain. I tape a torn photo to the wall, Robert's smile a reminder of what I'm fighting for, a vow to honor Eleanor's legacy. I text Diane, "Draft a guest email. It's time. Nathan's not my son anymore. He's my lesson." The bulb flickers, casting jagged shadows, but my resolve doesn't waver. I'm exposing his lies, brick by brick. The flower scent drifts through the vent, faint and fading, the jazz a distant hum. Family isn't just blood. It's the respect you earn through sacrifice. Nathan's destroyed mine, but I'm rebuilding. Diane's email confirms the trust names Eleanor as the sole funder, a deeper secret glinting like a blade. Her next message pings, "Email's ready, trust details are explosive." Lauren's voice seeps through the vent. She's out tomorrow. What's my next strike? Did I raise him or just his greed? I hit send, and their perfect BBQ crumbles like ash. They thought I was weak, but my truth is a wildfire. The next morning, I sit in my suite at the Del Mar Resort in Raleigh, the air scented with lavender, ocean waves crashing beyond the open window. A nearby cafe gives off a coffee shop vibe, its espresso machine hissing, blending with the soft hum of gulls. My laptop glows on the desk, a cup of coffee warm in my hands, its bitter steam steadying me. Back at Nathan and Lauren's house, the BBQ must be unraveling, their apple pie untouched, the jazz band faltering. Eleanor's trust, my aunt's legacy, is my shield, its truth. Her wealth built this family, burning in my mind. Nathan's expulsion, his burden shout, and Lauren's push fuel my resolve, but guilt tugs, a faint ache. Did my sacrifices, $100,000 for their house, college, his startup, shape Nathan's entitlement? The waves crash, a steady rhythm, and I push the thought aside. I'm done being their shadow. I open Diane's email. Sale's done. House is yours. My heart pounds, a quiet thrill. I draft an email to 50 guests, my fingers steady. Nathan and Lauren locked me in the garage, ignored my $100,000. I'm selling the house. The words stare back, raw and true. I hover over send. My breath shallow, then click. The laptop chimes, the message gone, a wildfire set loose. I sip my coffee, the waves roar, grounding me, my resolve fierce. They thought they could bury me, but I'm rising, Eleanor's strength in my veins. The lavender scent curls around me, soft but unyielding like my determination. Back at the house, the lawn must be chaos. I picture Hannah, my daughter, sharing the email, her dark hair loose, her eyes fierce. Phones buzz, screens lighting up with my words. Guests whisper, their murmurs rising like smoke, leaving empty chairs around the picnic tables. Nathan's voice, frantic, cuts through. "She's lying," Lauren hisses. "Fix this." Her blonde hair whipping as she paces, her insecurity raw. The jazz band stumbles, notes sour, the fairy lights dimming. Nathan storms to the garage, his boots heavy on the concrete. "You're done, Mom!" he shouts, locking the door with a click that echoes, guests gasping behind him. The apple pie sits untouched, its crust crumbling, a symbol of their facade. Hannah stands tall, her loyalty a beacon, spreading my truth. Emma, my granddaughter, texts me, "Email's viral, Grandma." Her pride, forged over our storytelling nights, lifts me higher. The guest's stares burn Nathan, but he doubles down, his entitlement a crumbling wall. My phone rings, Diane's voice crackling with victory. "Trust says Eleanor funded everything," she says, her passion echoing her own betrayal by her son. I lean back, the ocean's roar steady, and a guest's voicemail pings. "We're out, Vivian. You didn't deserve this." The words land soft, a confirmation of my email's reach, its impact spreading like ripples. Their worlds collapsing, and I'm rising, my heart fierce. I light a lavender candle, its flame flickering, a symbol of my burning truth. The coffee shop hum fades, the waves' rhythm a countdown. Nathan's lies, Lauren's cruelty are ash now, but my guilt lingers. Did I give Nathan too much, shaping his greed? The candle's glow steadies me, Eleanor's legacy a fire I won't let die. Truth isn't just spoken, it's a force that reshapes what's broken. They tried to erase me, but I'm rewriting our story. My phone buzzes, Nathan's name flashing, his voice cracking through. "Mom, stop this." I don't answer, my eyes on the candle. Diane's email arrives, a trust document attached. What's the full truth? Did they think I'd stay broken forever? Nathan's pleas can't douse my fire. Eleanor's trust lights the truth, and their lies are turning to ash. The next afternoon, the BBQ at Nathan and Lauren's Raleigh house is a ghost of its former self. Half-empty, soggy streamers littering the lawn like fallen confetti. The jazz band is silent, its absence heavy. The air thick with the acrid scent of burnt apple pie left too long in the oven. Fairy lights dangle, unlit, their glow snuffed out. I step onto the grass, my head high, the trust document clutched in my hand, its paper crisp against my fingers. Eleanor's wealth, my aunt's legacy, built this family, not theirs, and I'm here to set the record straight. Nathan's frantic call yesterday, his stop this plea, fades against my resolve. I'm done with his games, his entitlement fed by my sacrifices. $100,000 for this house, college, his startup. The garage, my past prison, looms behind me, now a symbol of my escape. I face the remaining guests, their faces a mix of shock and curiosity. My Aunt Eleanor's money, not yours, built this house, I announce, my voice clear, cutting through the murmurs. I hold up the trust document, its words bold. Nathan pales, his beer bottle slipping in his hand, his broad shoulders slumping. Lauren scoffs, her blonde hair whipping, her lips curling. "You're pathetic," she sneers, her voice sharp as a blade. Guests murmur, some nodding, their whispers a soft wave of support. The air smells of burnt pie, heavy with tension, the lawn a stage for my truth. I stand tall, fierce, my heart pounding with triumph. Eleanor's legacy, her wealth, is mine to claim, and I'm severing their hold on it. Nathan's silence, his refusal to meet my eyes, deepens the betrayal, but I'm unyielding. Lauren steps forward, her eyes wild, her insecurity raw. "We deserved it. You're nothing," she hisses, her hand flashing out, slapping my cheek. The sting burns, sharp and hot, my head snapping to the side. Guests gasp, their murmurs swelling. Hannah, my daughter, surges forward, her dark hair loose, her voice fierce. "Enough!" she shouts, pulling Lauren back, her hands firm. Emma, my granddaughter, films with her phone, her voice defiant. "Stop her, Mom," she yells, her ponytail bouncing, her love for our baking days fueling her fire. I touch my cheek, the pain fading against my resolve. I read the trust aloud. Vivian's inheritance funded the Caldwells. A note in Eleanor's hand adds, "For Vivian's strength." Guests turn away from Lauren, their whispers cutting deeper than her slap. Nathan stands frozen, his entitlement crumbling, a fleeting remorse flickering in his eyes. Too late. The lawn feels alive, the burnt pie's scent a bitter echo of their lies. I slip into the garage, its dim bulb flickering, papers still scattered from my fight. Diane joins me, her gray curls soft, her face calm. "Will's ready," she says, her voice steady, her own healing from her son's betrayal mirroring my victory. "Nathan's out?" I nod, my heart serene, the sale papers signed. I pack my cot, folding my cardigan, my slippers, my resolve unyielding. I leave a torn album photo, Robert and me, smiling, on the cot, a final farewell to Nathan's family. The garage is no prison now, but a doorway to my freedom. The house is sold, their lies exposed, Eleanor's note a beacon in my heart. Hannah's pride, Emma's defiance, Diane's calm. They're my family, not Nathan's silence or Lauren's violence. Truth is a flame that burns away deceit. They tried to break me, but I'm forged anew. Eleanor's strength, my guide. Lauren's scream echoes outside. "This isn't over." Diane hands me the new will, its paper heavy. What's my final act? Did I lose a son or find my fire? Lauren's slap still stings, but the match in my hand burns brighter. Nathan's out of my will and my heart. The next evening, the BBQ lawn at Nathan and Lauren's former rally house is a wreck. Overturned chairs scattered like fallen soldiers, torches flickering with weak flames. The air hangs heavy with the scent of burnt apple pie, its crust charred in a forgotten oven, mingling with the fading sweetness of farmers' market flowers. The jazz band has stopped, leaving a tense silence, broken only by the murmur of remaining guests. I stand at the lawn's edge, my cardigan soft against my skin, the trust document from Eleanor, my aunt, fresh in my mind. Her wealth built this family and her strength fuels my fire. I'm here to end Nathan's hold, his burden shout and Lauren's slap, no longer wounds but badges. Guilt lingers. Did my sacrifices, $100,000 for this house, college, his startup, feed his greed? But I'm liberated, ready to redefine my family. I step forward, torches casting my shadow long, and face Nathan and Lauren. Guests watch, their faces a mix of shock and support. I sold the house, I declare, my voice clear, slicing through the silence. Nathan, you're out of my will. Nathan stumbles, his beer bottle clinking to the grass. Mom, I'm sorry, he chokes, his broad shoulders slumping, remorse flickering in his eyes. Too late. Lauren lunges, her blonde hair wild, her voice shrill. You're evil, she shouts, her insecurity raw. Hannah, my daughter, surges forward, her dark hair loose, her grip fierce as she pulls Lauren back. Stay away from her, she snaps. Diane, calm beside me, nods, holding the new will, her gray curls soft, her own healing from her son's betrayal a quiet strength. Guests whisper, some nodding, their support a soft wave lifting me higher. I reach into my purse, pulling a family photo, Nathan, Lauren, me, smiling years ago. My fingers trace its edge, a pang of loss fading against my resolve. This was us, I say, striking a match, its hiss sharp in the silence. The flame catches, the photo curling, ash floating like snow. Emma, my granddaughter, films with her phone, her ponytail bouncing, her voice a cheer. Yes, Grandma, she yells, her love forged over baking lessons fueling her joy. Lauren screams, her voice cracking, You're evil! I smile calm, the smoke curling sharp and final. I'm not evil, I'm free. Guests gasp, a few clapping, their murmurs swelling. The torches flicker, the burnt pie's scent bitter, but my heart soars, serene. Burning the photo severs Nathan's place in my family, a fiery reclaiming of Eleanor's legacy and my own. Nathan falls to his knees, sobbing, his hands clutching grass. I didn't mean it, he says, his voice raw. I look down, steady, my voice soft but firm. You chose greed over family. His entitlement, fed by my sacrifices, crumbles, his arc ending in defeat. Hannah hugs me, her warmth a shield, her pride radiant after our reconciliation. Emma grins, her phone still raised, her heroism a spark for our future. I turn, walking away, the lawn fading behind me, the house gone, their hold on me ash. Emma's phone buzzes, a text from Lauren to a friend, intercepted. She'll regret this. Her intent to retaliate hangs, but I'm unshaken, a new address in my pocket, my heart light. Freedom is choosing who you call family. They tried to dim my light, but I'm blazing. Eleanor's trust my flame. Lauren storms off, her scream echoing. Hannah asks, Where to now, Mom? A new address waits in my pocket. What's my next home? Did I burn a past or light my future? The house is gone, but my new table holds Hannah and Emma. I'm not just enough, I'm everything to them. The next week, my cozy cottage in a Raleigh suburb glows with sunlight, lavender blooming outside, its sweet scent drifting through open windows. Inside, the kitchen hums, the oven baking an apple pie, its cinnamon warmth filling the air. Soft jazz drifts from a radio, its saxophone notes evoking a coffee shop, calm, soothing, and familiar. I stand in the dining room, setting the table with my old china, reclaimed from storage, each plate gleaming like a promise. Eleanor's trust, tucked in my desk drawer, rests as a promise kept. Her wealth, my legacy, alive in the family I choose. The garage, Nathan's burden shout, Lauren's slap. Their shadows now, fading against my liberation. I'm at peace, my heart full, ready to celebrate the bonds that matter. The front door creaks and Hannah steps in, her dark hair loose, her smile bright. "Mom," she says, hugging me tightly, her warmth a balm. "You're my strength." Her eyes shine, her reconciliation complete after years of distance sparked by my absence at her graduation. I squeeze her back, my throat tight. "You're mine too," I murmur. Emma bounds in, her ponytail swinging, clutching a sketch. "Grandma, look," she says, unfolding it. Me as a warrior, lavender wings soaring. At 15, her love, forged over our baking lessons, sparkles in her grin. I laugh, tears pricking my eyes. "You're my heroes," I tell them, my voice soft. The jazz hums warm, the pie's scent wrapping us like a quilt. Hannah's devotion, Emma's joy fill the room, my chosen family a light brighter than Nathan's darkness. Diane arrives, her gray curls bouncing, her face warm. We sit, the china sparkling, and she raises a glass of lemonade. "To Vivian's fire," she toasts, her voice steady. She shares her own healing. Her son reached out, inspired by my stand against Nathan. "You showed me how," she says, her eyes soft. Hannah grips my hand, her voice firm. "I won't lose you again, Mom." Emma nods, her eyes bright. "You're my role model, Grandma." We share stories, my old art days, Hannah's teaching dreams, Emma's school plays, laughter filling the room like sunlight. The jazz swells, a trumpet note soaring, the pie cooling on the counter, its crust golden. My heart swells, joyful, free from Nathan's shadow. A letter from him arrived yesterday pleading, "Please talk," but it sits unopened, his late remorse a faint sting against my fulfillment. After brunch, I lead them to the garden, lavender swaying where a garage might have been. The air is fresh, the sun warm on my face. Hannah kneels by a flower bed, her fingers brushing petals. "What about Nathan?" she asks, her voice soft. I pause steady. "He's gone," I say, my heart calm. The letter's weight is nothing compared to this. Hannah's devotion, Emma's hope. I place Emma's sketch on the mantel, its warrior image a new family portrait, my legacy reborn. The lavender scent lingers, the jazz fading to a soft hum, the garden a testament to my growth. Diane's healing, Hannah's vow, Emma's dreams. They're my family built on love, not greed. Family isn't just what you're given, it's what you nurture with care. I lost Nathan, but I've built something stronger. Eleanor's trust my guide. Emma hands me a new sketch. Our cottage under stars, a quiet promise. A knock at the door startles us. Who's there? Is family what you lose or what you build? Nathan's letter sits unopened, but my lavender blooms. I'm not his mother anymore. I'm Vivian, whole and free. The next month, my cottage garden in a Raleigh suburb bursts with lavender and thyme, the air fresh with morning dew, sparkling under the sun. Soft jazz drifts from an open window, its saxophone notes blending with the calm of a coffee shop, warm and inviting. Inside, my home glows, simple but mine, the cul-de-sac of Nathan's house a distant memory, its garage and burden. Shouts faded. Eleanor's trust tucked in my desk taught me strength, her wealth my legacy, now rooted in the family I choose. I kneel in the garden, my hands in soil, planting thyme, the earth cool against my fingers. Hannah kneels beside me, her dark hair tied back, her smile soft. "This is home," she says, her voice steady. Emma, my granddaughter, sketches nearby, her pencil scratching, humming jazz. At 15, her hope, born from our storytelling nights, shines bright. Nathan's letter waits on my desk, unopened, its plea a faint sting against my peace. I choose this moment, lavender, sunlight, love. We move inside, the kitchen warm, the scent of brewed tea mingling with the jazz's hum. I pour cups, the porcelain clinking, and we sit, the table small, but ours. Emma sips, her eyes curious. "Will you forgive Dad?" she asks, her voice soft. I pause, steady, the letter's shadow passing. "Forgiveness doesn't mean trust," I say, my voice calm. Hannah nods, squeezing my hand, her fingers warm. "You're enough, Mom," she says, her confidence a gift after our years apart, healed since her graduation misunderstanding. I smile, my heart light. I'm their anchor, not their servant. My self-worth, a quiet strength. The room feels like a new beginning. The tea's steam curling, the jazz a gentle pulse. Nathan's absence, his greed is nothing compared to this. Hannah's devotion, Emma's dreams. A knock startles us, sharp against the quiet. I open the door, the morning air cool, and find a delivery. A framed sketch, Emma's work wrapped in brown paper. Hannah grins, her gift revealed. "Open it, Mom," she urges. I unfold it, my breath catching. A cottage under stars, a family of 3. Us. My eyes sting, joy swelling. I hang it above the mantel, its lines bold, replacing Nathan's torn photo, cementing my new family. The lavender outside sways, the jazz soft, the coffee shop calm, wrapping us. Hannah's confidence, her gift a seal on our bond, and Emma's inspiration, her sketch a promise for her future, deepen our love. The garden grows, and so do I, my heart full, serene, a closure rooted in peace. Legacy is the love you cultivate, not the pain you leave behind. I lost Nathan, but I've found myself, Eleanor's strength my guide. Did I find myself, or was I always here? The lavender in my Raleigh cottage garden sways under the late summer breeze, its scent a quiet hymn of peace. Months have passed since I hung Emma's sketch above the mantel, since Nathan's unopened letter found its place in a drawer, untouched but no longer heavy. I sit on the porch, a cup of tea steaming, jazz humming softly from the radio inside, its notes blending with the chirp of evening crickets. The coffee shop calm of my home wraps around me, a warmth I've built with Hannah and Emma, my chosen family. Eleanor's trust, my aunt's legacy, rests in my heart, her strength a root that holds me steady. I'm Vivian, free, my self-worth, a garden that blooms without Nathan's shadow. Hannah visits often, her laughter filling the cottage, her confidence a mirror of our healed bond. She's teaching now, her classroom a canvas for her dreams, a path I once set aside for Nathan's. Emma, 16 now, spends weekends here, her sketches piling up, each bolder than the last. "I want to be like you, Grandma," she says, her eyes bright, her pencil dancing. I smile, teaching her to knead dough, our hands dusted with flour, our stories weaving through the kitchen. Diane drops by, her gray curls softer, her son's reconciliation a quiet victory she shares over lemonade. "You started this, Viv," she says, her warmth a thread in my tapestry. The jazz swells, a trumpet note soaring, and I nod, my heart full. Nathan's absence is a faint ache, his letter a ghost I don't summon. Rumors reach me. He's moved, his startup faltering, Lauren gone. I feel no triumph, only closure, his greed a lesson I've outgrown. The garden teaches me patience, its thyme and lavender thriving where I once saw only loss. I plant a new bed, my trowel sinking into soil, a symbolic act of growth beyond his betrayal. The dew sparkles, grounding me, my legacy not in wealth but in love. Hannah's devotion, Emma's hope, Diane's friendship. A knock breaks the quiet, and I open the door to find a package, small and plain. Inside, a note in Emma's hand. "For your garden, Grandma." It's a packet of sunflower seeds, her favorite, a promise of bright blooms. I laugh, tears pricking, and step outside, kneeling by the flower bed. Hannah joins me, her hands in the dirt. Emma sketching nearby, her hum soft. We plant the seeds, the soil cool, the jazz fading to a gentle hum. The sun dips low, painting the sky gold, and I pause, my heart serene. This is family, not what I lost, but what I've nurtured. Roots don't just hold you, they lift you toward the light. Eleanor's trust, my sacrifices, Nathan's betrayal, they're part of me, but not all of me. I'm Vivian, a woman who chose to grow, to love, to be enough. The garden will bloom, sunflowers rising, and I'll be here, my legacy alive in every petal. What grows next, I wonder, as the stars begin to shine? The lavender in my Raleigh garden blooms brighter than ever, a quiet testament to the peace I've found with Hannah and Emma by my side. Nathan's unopened letter no longer holds power, and Eleanor's trust has rooted me in a family built on love, not greed. In life, family isn't just who we're born to, but who we choose to nurture with forgiveness and care. Even when betrayal stings, like Nathan's harsh words or Lauren's slap, love can heal if we listen and hold space for those who stay. I've learned that letting go of pain, as I did burning that photo, makes room for new growth, like my sunflowers waiting to rise. If this story warmed your heart, please share your own memories in the comments or follow along for more tales of family and hope. Your stories weave the fabric of our community.